Howdy, and welcome to Book Your Give Here. We're Travel That Gives. I'm Lulu Lima, your chief travel guru. I hope this episode of Dream Now, Travel Later inspires you to travel, and I invite you to give us the opportunity to help plan your next memorable trip. So grab your popcorn and enjoy.
I wanted to bring you a special guest. I know I'm on a little earlier than normal, but today is super, super special for me because I have Fanny Claudel from France Private Travels, who is my main contact in France. And so when I plan something for you, she is my to-go-to person. So we're really trying to inspire you a little bit. She's going to talk to you a little bit about all of her favorite regions in France, and we may touch upon a little bit of some other pieces and kind of go from there. But with that, I want to give the floor over to Fanny so that she can inspire us.
I hope.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is doing really fine today, that the sun is with you, and we are going to talk about France, and I hope I will inspire you on the different regions and the different experiences you can do with us. And hopefully we hope to see you very soon on our country to spend nice time together and have a gorgeous experience together.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to show your presentation. I'm going to hide us, but we'll be able to talk. So that way everybody can see the beautiful pictures you've sent me and obviously go through all of that. So with that, here we go. So let's talk a little bit about all the different things that we can do in France.
So in France, you have about 12 regions, all really different, with tradition and history really different, but of course, all of different wine and food experiences that you can make, that you can add also with some great experience about heritage, history, and craftsmen that we propose to mix together to have a full vision of what is France and what is our local traditions.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And so I've got a great map here that kind of breaks out all the different regions, and you've highlighted some pieces of places that we're going to visit today. And so just to kind of give you guys a little bit of background, France was where I learned all about my love for culinary arts. And so that's kind of how I got started in hospitality. And so that's what kind of drove me to study in Switzerland, to do hospitality and also learn and move around. So with that, I am going to start you off here. My screen will be so kind. To talk about your secret Paris, because Paris is so amazing.
Yes, Paris is fabulous because you have all the fabulous monuments that you know already, as the Eiffel Tower, the Champs-Elysées, Saint-Germain-des-Prés. But it's not only that. In Paris, you can meet local people who are going to tell you a story about their life inside their apartment, inside their own private life, I mean. So, for example, I have met fabulous experiences with Jacqueline Queneau. She's an historian and she's opening her own apartment that she has decorated with objects and furnitures and painters of the 19th and 18th century. When you go in her apartment, you will take a lift, and when you arriving, you will be introduced in this fabulous decoration that she have made with entertaining things from the 18th century. So she's going to learn you how people used to live in this century and how they used to dress a table, what the life was around a table, because in France, eating food is really important. It's one of our tradition, it's one of our blood, I mean. So
Yeah, and
um,
and the gastronomy is a great way also to have cultural immersion.
yes, of
So
course, of course.
and,
And
and that's one of the reasons it's my love. Because I get to sit down and I get to learn something new, and I learn about someone as well, and so it gives me that opportunity to become a student of life.
that's it. And this is what Jacqueline is proposing to you, because when you go in her apartment, for example, the kitchen have been built at the kitchen of the 18th century. So she will propose to make a little collation in its open oven. I mean, this is not an oven that we have in a house. This is an open fireplace where you are going to make with her specific meals of the 18th century that you will test after the visit of the apartment. So this is really fantastic experience, because you live in the 21st century, but in an apartment of the 18th centuries. So this is what we propose here, and you will know everything about the life as it used to be, and you will have a taste of the meals that we used to eat in the 18th century. So this historian person is a really great woman with lots of things and lots of story to tell about our tradition around table.
Yeah. One of the things that I love about Paris is also being able to sit in Café du Monde and basically just kind of, take a look at all the people walking by, sitting by the Arc de Triomphe, and just people watching. I mean, it's amazing.
Yes, that's amazing. And in Paris, you have to know that there are lots of cafe, what we call cafe, who have an history. And
Yes.
you can go in a cafe and meet some writer, for example, okay? And these writers are really fabulous to meet, because they are here to present what is the history of the cafe, who is using, who used to come here and have some great conversation and share their knowledge about writing. And in the same time, the decoration and the ambience of the cafe are really important in France, because this is a place where people are coming together and exchange together about life, about gourmet things, about politics, about everything in life, you see.
Yeah.
So this is, we have about 10 really important cafe in the 6th district of Paris, or the 5th district of Paris, where our main writer, even Hemingway, I mean, used to come and let their how do you say that in English?
Their inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration, but also their history on the wall or on the table. This is written. You see?
Oh, their opinions on how
testimony. The testimony of this writer are on the wall, are written on the tables, are everywhere in the cafe. So French people, especially in Paris or in Lyon or Marseille or in Toulouse, are really, this is a place for meetings, where people are gathered together to express their feeling about life, exchanging some experiences, laughing, eating, drinking. Well, life,
exactly. Life in the urban setting.
Yeah.
So, and now we move on to a little bit of Normandy and Brittany, where obviously for our World War II buffs, this is really great history. There's a lot of opportunity here to again have a different version of life, and and still get a lot of the history, and especially for children who are in, school age children who are learning a lot about world history. This is a great way for them to actually live it, and they can they can experience it, and they can write their reports to their teachers and to their classmates, and basically go, I was able to step on the oceans where all of these military people came in from all different countries to obviously save from the Nazis. And so here's a great opportunity for learnings. But I'm going to let you talk a little bit more as well.
Yes, in Normandy, where there were the landing beaches, I have met a very special man who had a castle nearby the landing beach, and he can, for educational, it's really important. He can open his castle because his father used to assist to the war, and the castle has been taken by the German. And when Americans came back to save France, they took the castle and put their army inside this castle. So the grandfather and the father of this guide can have let him a testimony of what happened between the German and the American coming. And this is really important because this is a true story, really emotional, that families from Americas, I mean, like you said, children and parents can learn about this specific period of the war. And I really thank this man to open the history of the landing beach to more people and more people to know about what was this war and how people react against the war, in fact. And
of course,
hopefully he's not doing only some emotional things, but because after you can have a lunch in the castle to share with him the experience, a question you will have to ask him about this war. And I think this is one of the great moments you can spend in Normandy. This is not the only one, of course, because you have also cedar and cheese. You have fantastic landscape you can discover, but this is a real moment of life to spend with this man.
Yeah, no, of course. And so, and again, there's always food, because in France, there's always food. So
Always.
in this case, we deal with, we'll deal with a lot of cheeses and
oyster also. Farm.
Yes. Well, because you have the sea right there. So, so because you have the water, you also have beautiful seafood.
Of course.
So great gastronomic opportunities as well in Normandy, something that you won't experience, say, in Paris, because it's just a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
you can go in a farm, to see what is camembert? Camembert is one of the great cheese of France. And in Normandy, you can experiment in a farm how we make this cheese on a different step. And the fantastic thing is, after you are going to taste some different camembert, different taste of camembert, which depends of the milk, but depends also of the land, and depends also of the farmer, how he build it, how he make it. So this is a great moment, because you can eat the camembert hot, but you can eat also like it is. And this is a real nice moment to spend with the farmer, really. And you will drink some white wine or cider with the camembert. And this is fabulous moment. This is fabulous moment to live. And you have also, of course, the Impressionists in the Normandy, because this is the way from Paris, Giverny, Rosa Bonheur House to Normandy. There's a continuity for the Impressionist painter. So lots of things, when you're traveling, it's good to make some different things in the same in a region, but on different themes that you can add to each other to have a complete view of what is a region.
Yes, absolutely. And so with that, we'll take a little trip to the Loire Valley.
Of course, the Loire Valley.
I mean, it's absolutely amazing where here you're going to have not only your arts once again, because, you know, that's part of the culture, but you have so much more opportunities to experience true land and true old-fashioned living.
Yeah, that's right. You know, in the Loire Valley, you have many castles like Chambord, Chenonceau, Cheverny, Villandry. This is some wonderful place for castles, but you have also something to know. During spring and summers, generally you have the Festival of the Gardens, and every castle is going to make a different visit. It won't be only for the castle, but the gardens will be made as Le Nôtre. You know about Le Nôtre? It's a fantastic. It used to be very famous for the cooking, but it's also very famous for the gardens. He have drones. Some gardens with how do you say that, specific ways, specific flowers and specific trees of the regions. And this is a moment, you know, of slow life, because nature is
life. It's all about indigenous plants and just really an opportunity for you to see how, you know, how to live off the land and how France lived off the land, especially in the countryside. This was where the Loire Valley was also where a lot of because there's so many castles, there are many of the aristocrats, this is where they would summer.
Yeah, of course. And you have lots of vineyards also.
Exactly.
You have lots of vineyards, different types of vineyards in Loire Valley. This is less famous than Bordeaux or Burgundy, but Loire Valley is really rich on the different kind of wine that you can produce over there. And you can visit fabulous cellars on private castle and private vineyards that they are opening their land to explain what is the wine and what is the land of Loire Valley. This is also something you can add to your bucket list when you go in Loire Valley.
Absolutely, and certainly, you know, not something that you want to miss. And here are, you know, as we were talking about Bordeaux a little bit, here's an opportunity where you can spend some time in Bordeaux, and you can even enjoy, you know, not only all the wines, but then of course nearby is the Champagne region, no?
The Champagne is more closer from Loire Valley. Champagne is between Paris and Burgundy and then Loire Valley. Okay, Champagne is 1 hour and a half of driving from Paris. This is a fantastic land. You know, everybody loves Champagne. Me too. I love Champagne.
And it's not.
I love
Champagne. Not real Champagne unless it comes from this region.
Sorry.
It's not real Champagne unless it actually comes from the Champagne region.
No. The Appellation Champagne is coming from Champagne. After, you have different kind of wine with bubbles, okay? But this is not Champagne, okay?
Exactly. Exactly. You must. So in order for it to be Champagne, it has to be from the Champagne region.
Yeah.
So exactly. So when you're in Bordeaux, you're getting all of these amazing wines, and especially the reds.
Yes, Bordeaux wines is really famous for the red wines, of course, because the land with the sun and the orientation of the lands are really great to have tannic wines, very famous for this. But there's different coteaux in Bordeaux, like, you know, Saint-Emilion, Pauillac, which are the most famous, but you have very, very different kind of taste of the wine, different smell of the wine. All will depend of the making and of the land, of the earth, okay? And the grapes are
Yeah.
really different. So Bordeaux is also a region where you have the La Garonne, where you can make some little boating on this to go inside the countryside and see what is the countryside around Bordeaux. You have also Arcachon, which is very close from here on the beach, you know. Arcachon is an extension of Bordeaux wineries experience, because like this, with family and friends, you can share some moments around the beaches, and you have fabulous Pila mountains that you can experiment with children, because you have to walk on the sand and have a fantastic view on the bay. So Bordeaux is also very close from Cognac, if you know Cognac.
Yes.
Yes. So there's lots of things to do in this region, and of course, always the gourmet tour.
Again, we go back to food, because
Yes.
it all goes back to that. But so
Yes.
it's all about food and wine. So, and then the Dordogne Valley, where here's another opportunity to not only see the medieval lifestyle and things like that, but also more, you know, there's more food, more wines, and even some truffles I see in the picture.
This is Dordogne Valley is called the Valley of 1,000 Castles. Okay, it's a very nice region for pilgrimage, but it's also one of our oldest land, where you can see authentic village of the Middle Age. Okay, this is here you are in Dordogne Valley. You are in the ancestral region of France, where you can visit hidden village, really specific, with old stone. And of course, it was the first discovery of Lascaux caves from the prehistoric period. So in Dordogne, you are outside everywhere. Okay, you are in some I don't know how to describe this.
It's just like an off the beaten path experience.
Yes,
you're gonna have. It's not full. It's not where all the tourists go. It's something that where you're still going to really have authentic local experiences, and still and have that feeling that you're still in the Middle Ages, but yet you're, you know, in the, you know, in our wonderful lifetime, where we have all of the technologies and everything else, but you can still see how they lived without it.
That's it. It's quite modern inside the house, but outside in the village, you are living in another time. I mean, and this is really emotional, because you can feel the past when you walking in a village. You can feel the past, and you know the things which have not changed. This is the local markets. Everywhere you will find a local markets, almost every day, with some specific food and some specific products of the region, as truffle, for example. Okay, this is very great.
And the truffles are amazing.
Yeah, and the period, if you want to test about truffles, this is winter time. This is where every chef is going to look for truffles for the Christmas meals. Okay, and this
do you have the truffle tours with the dogs?
Yes, of course. There's 2 seasons where you can do that. I mean, it is from October to January, February, and after you have what we call the truffles for summer truffles. It is not the same taste, but we can do also in summer. But the taste won't be as strong than in winter. You have to know that, okay? But truffles is really one, with chocolate, of course, is one of the best delicatessen, you say, to test in the region, and with some meat coming from hunting, savage. I mean, I don't know how to explain this.
No.
I hope you will forgive me for that.
It's a pairing, but it's also, you can make oils out of truffles as well, so that you can cook and marinate the meat with it.
Yeah.
So, and you give it different spices, especially if it's a gamey kind of meat. So definitely, yeah. I mean, there's so many different flavors that can be had.
Yes.
And it's just, I mean, it's just amazing.
It's amazing, so, and you can eat truffles with dessert also. Okay, some chefs are mixing truffles with strawberries or chocolate dessert. Okay, so it's really something interesting you should experiment when you go in this region. You have also, of course, nuts, which is one of the best region for nuts and for oil. We are making oil with nuts also. And well,
we can go on and talk about this valley for a whole year. For everything that is here. So we've given you guys a little bit of a highlight of the amazingness of this off the beaten path, the Argonne Valley, where you're really going to have an experience like no other.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So with that, we're going to move over to Provence and the French Riviera, where all of my lavender plants and the making of perfumes, one of my favorite things to do.
In Provence is a large region. There's Provence and French Riviera, which is really close from one to each other. Provence is a countryside of the French Riviera, okay? And in Provence, you have an ambience, I mean, a way of living really slow, because people in Provence want to take their time to appreciate life. You have different landscape. From the sea to the countryside, this is always the same feeling. You know, people, when they are talking, they are singing. You know, they are talking like this, you know. On parle comme ça en Provence. We have some accent in different parts of the province, which is really amazing because it's part of our way of life, you see? So in Provence,
I mean, it's very, very similar to the States, where you our accents are very different depending on what region we're from. Absolutely, but it's the beauty of Provence and the French Riviera and the fresh markets. Again, because it's countryside. So because it's a different way of life. And the other thing that you can do is that once you're in the French Riviera, you can take a side trip and actually enjoy Monaco and go to Monte Carlo or and things like that. So while you are able to visit another country, you're still in that same region as well. So it gives you, an opportunity to have a little bit of a different flair. And there's so much local art in this area.
Yes, of course. You have lots
and it's a lot of up and coming art, and so it's one of my most favorite areas to be in, because of all of the nuances and being able to just get on a boat and or on a small yacht and just enjoy the Riviera and go from one port to another.
Yes, it's completely true. You can take some little boats or you can take some big boats, whatever the choice you want to do, if you want to see something more privacy. But the coast is really beautiful from the sea. And from Monaco to Villefranche or to Nice and Cannes, you can enjoy a fantastic view of the land from the sea. And here, this is really some stop you should do to appreciate the coast. After, when you have finished these excursions, you can go on the countryside in Aise Village, about Aise Village, Gordes Village. And we have also in the Alpes, our mini Colorado park. Do you know that?
Oh.
Yes, we have.
No, I did not.
Yes, we have in the Alpes. We have our little Colorado, what we are saying. It's really a little Colorado, but the color are fantastic. This is some mountains where you have the red stone and red rocks that you can cross, and in, with really nice villages and olive tree all around. This is fantastic to see, and this is funny to make also, because you can do it with a bicycle, because when you want to visit some little villages, and sometimes buses or cars cannot go inside, but with bicycle this is feasible, and you can have some electric assistance, so it's not hard to do, and it's a way of freedom to visit this part of the countryside.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, as I mentioned earlier, one of the things that I love to do in the area is actually go to a perfumery and start making my own scent. It's something that I did as a youngster, and when I go back, I always love to do that. It's a very it's a very mind, body, spirit fulfilling thing, because it opens up your senses, and you create something that's for you, and it can be how how you want to relate to it. So when you create these oils and these perfumes, it helps you mentally manage the rest of your day.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
It's a little keepsake that you can take home from, and it's something that you created. And I know some of the perfumeries will actually will keep your recipe, and then you can actually order it online if you want some more.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and if this is ever of interest to any of my amazing clients or followers, I'm happy to help you create that, because again, I have done this firsthand, and it is just an amazing experience.
Absolutely, the workshop is really amazing to do, because you can make your own fragrance. I mean, your personal fragrance with the flower of the regions, and well, as you say, this is a part of you that you are taking from France, and you can order it if you want another time. This is really something I like too, with lavender or roses. It depends of the workshop you are going to make, but Fragonard is one of the best, I think, to experiment.
Absolutely. So so with that, we've covered quite a bit of France overall. So I'm really excited about that. I'm kind of gonna bring us back now, and so that we can see each other. Yay. Here, give me 1 second. And here we go. Let me hide that. And so I wanted to tell everybody just a little secret. So as you all know, I love culinary arts. That's, in hospitality. It's something that I've been doing since I was in high school. But before high school, I actually got to meet Paul Bocuse. And Paul Bocuse, you can see here me with him and my parents. He was an amazing chef. And he is one of the, he has restaurants. His son actually went to a school, to the culinary arts school in upstate New York, and did a lot of things as well. And so a lot of my passions for travel and culinary actually started at a young age. So I wanted to share that with you guys, because I've been doing this. My parents ingrained this into me. So this is something that for me is really important. We didn't really talk about Lyon a lot, but it is certainly a large region where you can explore all different types of gastronomy, and you could spend 2 months there alone.
Yes, you can.
And still not see all of the region. We didn't touch upon another favorite place of mine, Strasbourg. But there's so many regions.
Yeah, so many.
So we're gonna bring Fanny back at a later date, and we're gonna talk about all the other regions that we didn't talk about this time around.
Okay, I will come back.
Yes, but this will certainly inspire you a little bit to maybe do a nice, calming experience. France is great for social distancing. Outside of Paris, you can do social distancing everywhere. So as you can see, the rest of the country is very much laid back, and again, very countryside in terms of what we're used to here in the States. So it's not all major cities, and everything is connected by trains. So the
trains and planes are really easy in France. You know, you have many connection. You know, if you're talking about Alsace and Strasbourg, this is 1 hour of train from Paris. Champagne is 1 hour of train from Paris. Loire-Vallée is 2 hours of train from Paris. And Bordeaux is 1 hour and a half. Okay? With TGV. So everything can be done really easy. Really easy.
Yeah. Very simple. And the TGV is amazing. You guys, I have been riding the TGV since I was a kid. And I can't tell you how much it has changed and how great it is. And super, super fast. Trains that we wish we had in the US, but we don't. They've got them in Europe.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
I have one thing to tell you. If you go to Lyon, because you've met Paul Bocuse, there is a market inside Lyon that your customer have to do, because they can buy their meat, their vegetables, but they can cook it inside the market with a local cooking. It's really beautiful to do.
Experience. I forgot about that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Talk about true cultural immersion, where you can have a private chef. You can pick your ingredients, have a private chef make it for you, and in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
And inside the market, this is fantastic, because you are living with French. You are going to eat with French. You are going to cook with French. So the Halles Paul Bocuse in Lyon is a place to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we gave him a plug. I hope in his memory he can hear us. Fanny, merci beaucoup.
Merci à vous. Merci. Vous êtes les bienvenus en France. On espère vous voir très bientôt chez nous. Merci.
We will be there soon.
I hope so.
We're ready. We're going to start taking our first lesson soon.
I hope so.
Thank you, Fanny.
You're welcome. Be safe.
Au
Take
revoir.
care. Au revoir.
Yes, you too. Au revoir.
Au revoir.